Good morning, guys. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Blue Collar Biceps. Today I'm headed out to do a few oil cleanings at a local apartment complex. So I'll be doing, I think, 2 Viessmann boilers, a Will McLean boiler. It's either that or it could be three Viessmann boilers if they didn't update this third one. That might be a Will McLean still. But either way, almost commercial grade boilers, bigger systems. And I'll show you guys what the maintenance process looks like and how I keep my setup to do oil cleanings, checking pump pressures, all that good stuff. So let's go get it done. Here we are, these buildings here. There's about, I don't know, a whole bunch of these along this whole property here. And there's also other locations with these same buildings. Some of them have old Will McLean boilers, and some of them they're slowly updating to these Viessmanns. A lot of them are Viessmann now. So we'll see what we got. Immediately ran into some issues on this boiler not being set up right. As you can see, it's completely sooting up, running black soot. Get the chamber out of there. Look at that. Whew. Yeah, this boiler should not be sooting up like this. It's only about a year old. You can see how straight black soot. Look at that. That's no good. So I'm gonna get into this, guys, figure out what they did or didn't do. Look at that end cone. This has to be the proper dimension, so I'm gonna go by the book. This is just an AFG burner, so I have to make sure the headset is proper, along with the nozzle, the pump pressure. I will get into the book and show you guys what settings I'm gonna check on this boiler and what I'm gonna do to correct this situation, what we can find. Let's do this. All right, so the first thing I'm gonna do is find the model number of this boiler. So we have a Viessmann VR163. So what I'm gonna do, look this up, get the manual on my phone because they do have a manual in here, or what was a manual. And here's the book, but it's gone. Just a couple pieces of paper. So I'm gonna go out, pull the manual up on my phone if I can, and run through you guys on the settings that I'm gonna check to straighten this boiler out. All right, guys, here I am in the Viessmann online manual. So I'm just gonna scroll down to the Beckett burner section, and you're gonna be looking into the right-hand column. Here, I'm gonna go to the VR163, and it looks like 175 pump pressure and a 135 60B nozzle. All right, guys, so I did have the book on this. I'm out here just checking out the book now too, because I want to make sure I have the right head setting as well. So as you can see, for the VR163 boiler model, which I'm dealing with an AFG, it's a V1 head and a 4 head setting. So that's what that 4 stands for. That's going to be the head setting, which is the depth of the basically the nozzle assembly and the retention head inside of the tube. So I'm going to go make sure that that's set up right now. Also, guys, quick shout out to Toro Eyewear for some sick sunglasses. These things are like invincible. I've been wearing them for a month now and I love them. I'm gonna put a link down in the description. If you guys want to save yourself 15%, hit that link, go check them out. They come in some different colors and I know you're gonna be impressed if you do go with them. Okay, so first things first here, back inside, I'm gonna be doing my pump pressure test. Here in my little oil setup bucket, I have everything in here to do my filter, my nozzle, cleaning everything up. I have degreasers and foaming cleaner, pump pressure tester in here. I have a little screw on it because the clip got messed up at one point. So I kind of got to work around that, but here it is. Now this pump pressure tester will test Riello and Suntech pumps. This is a Suntech, well, Beckett clean cut pump. I'm pretty sure it's made by Suntech. So we're gonna hook it up by the Suntech way of doing it. With the Riello, you just need this little adapter that goes in. This replaces where the bleeder is. You put the adapter on and you can check pump pressure on a Riello. Okay, guys, this is really crucial doing oil work. You definitely want to have your pump pressure set up properly. So the first thing I'm going to do here is remove my jet line. It's one crucial component when you're talking about making an oil burner run properly. If pump pressure is not set up right, you're gonna have a whole bunch of issues. It's gonna soot up. This could be the one reason that this boiler is sooting up right now, but we're about to find that out. So blue is gonna go to our nozzle line. And these are just thumb fittings, so there's a gasket in there that will seal off oil. And really, you don't need to hook up the blue. You could have this valve off and oil won't pass through anyways. But if you wanted to fire it with the pump pressure tester in line, you could do so. So I just hook it up anyway, even though I'm probably not firing it right now. All right, good and tight. Make sure my valve's off. All right, now I'm gonna power everything up, guys, and see what this pressure tester is reading. All right, guys, so pump pressure was way too high. I now have it set at 175, so boom, there's our first issue. All right, next up, guys, I'm checking. Typically on the cleaning, you pull out your nozzle assembly and change your nozzle, clean up the whole assembly. You can see this one is sooting up completely like we've already found, but see what they're running for a nozzle. We'll see if that's right. Get the end cone off. All right. Now I'm going to take my super foam cleaner, foam everything up. So including the end cone, put that in there too. And this is just gonna eat away at all that grease, cut it away. This thing had tons of soot on it, so we got to get rid of that. You always want to clean up your porcelains here and the whole assembly. You want to keep it as bright as possible because that's kind of reflecting the light, and it's going to help the flame sensor here see a better flame and read better ohms. You can see it's just cutting right away at it. I like this cleaner. If you guys are near FW Web, they carry this. Works really good. Everyone has their own way of doing this stuff, but this is kind of my system. And as far as cleaning it up, it's kind of a two-step process. I'll start with that. Then I'll go with the grime remover. This is more of just a straight degreaser. But let's see. There it goes. And then I'll go after it again with this stuff. I find the combination really eats away at that, all that oil and all that grease, soot, everything. Makes it good as new. So that is the right nozzle, guys. That's not what was causing our issue. Proper nozzle, improper pump pressure. Same idea with the nozzle assembly. I'll clean it up good like that. And the porcelain's nice and shiny. Change my nozzle. You don't want to over tighten the nozzles. You only need a couple turns. Snug them up. Some people refoam and they end up stripping out the, well, not stripping, but they end up stretching the threads within the J-tube, and that's no good. Nozzle adapter there. So, looking good. Electrode settings look good. So what I have here is the Beckett gauge. You want it to line up right between the lines there, just inside is good. Line this side of the gauge up your center hole with the nozzle center hole, and it meets in the crosshairs for an AFG burner. So I'm going to wait to put this back into the burner until I clean all that soot off, because I don't want the soot blowing around and getting back on the front of the nozzle or the end cone. So I'm going to leave this out for the time being. This thing back open and vacuum all that soot layer out of this boiler. It's always best practice to change your oil filter first. A little bit backwards on this one because I wanted to open it up and see what it was looking like. Luckily I did, because I knew what I was getting into with all that soot. So now I'm changing my oil filter. Like I said, normally first. It's a little out of order today. The reason you want to do it first is that way you will know you have a drip or an oil leak at the filter by the time you're done. This one doesn't look too bad. And just get all that stuff out of the bottom. Usually a lot of sludge and nasty stuff down there. Good to get that out of there so it doesn't get sucked up by the filter. When I'm doing these, guys, I'm very careful to make sure everything's completely dry on the bottom of the filter, housing, in the nut, everything. That way, if I leave, it's not going to look like there's an oil leak, even though it may not be, but the guy just didn't really take the time to keep everything dry. Just the little things. Filter, gasket. And my gasket here. For people that may not know, this device here is called the Tiger Loop, and what that does is eliminates the need to have a two-pipe system, which is a means of removing air. And also, if you're going overhead line, you definitely, if you're going to run an overhead oil line, you definitely want the Tiger Loop in line to eliminate that air also. If not, your oil line can actually go airbound and kick the burner off on reset. But this Tiger Loop here also makes it so you don't have to prime your burner. It's self-priming, so I'll put that primary, I'll jump that primary out, and the Tiger Loop will get rid of all the air and eventually fire the burner on its own. Nice little feature there of a Tiger Loop. But next, time to change out the pump screen.
Thought I was okay till something in me changed, don't know why. Don't know why you got me high, but I'm sober. You make me lonely when I'm by myself. I should be free, but I'm hoping that we could be something in the end, something more than friends. Be feeling same as the beginning, waste of time.
That last clip got cut off, but anyway, I have the new pump screen in, all tightened up all these evenly. There's a hole in that gasket right here, and you want it on top because that's where oil actually feeds into the pump. But we're looking good there. All right, so I'm ready to prime out my burner. Kick the power on. And I'm going to put this control into pump prime mode by holding it down and hitting it fast once this pump prime indicator lights up. There we go. Just hit it again, but you can see the tiger loop's going to get rid of all that air.
You got me high, but I'm sober. You make me lonely when I'm by myself. I should be free, but I'm hoping that we could be something in the end, something more than friends. Be feeling same as the beginning, waste of time, waste of time. Somehow you intruded, lost in your illusions. I was fine, I was fine.
I'm out here just checking out the book now too because I want to make sure I have the right head setting as well. So as you can see, for the VR1 6.3 boiler model, which I'm dealing with an AFG, it's a V1 head and a 4 head setting. So that's what that 4 stands for. That's going to be the head setting, which is the depth, basically the nozzle assembly and the retention head inside of the tube. Okay, so checking the head setting. That's this plate right here. And you can probably see that that was proper at 4. So this whole thing ended up being a pump pressure issue. 200, just above 200, when it should have been 175. So I'm gonna go ahead and efficiency test now and get this thing tuned right in. What a pain in the neck that call was. Expected it to just be that cleaning turned into that mess of a sooted boiler. So anyway, we handled it, got it done. Ended up being that pump pressure being way too high. So in those situations, you should have one of these Beckett OEM guides and different OEM guides for the different burners you work on. So Carlin, Riello has a book. You can go in and you can see what the proper spec should be for each boiler. As you can see, I went to that Viessmann section there and I was able to see all the different specs down to the nozzle, the head position, everything, pump pressure being the main culprit there. Over 200 pounds, when it should be 175, that's going to cause combustion issues, and you can see what it did there, burning black. Not plug sooted, but sooting up and not running right. It's never something you want to run into on a just an annual cleaning. But anyway, I'm pretty hungry, guys. I'm going to go grab some lunch, and I got to head off to AC class. I have about four more of those classes left, I think. So I'll be buttoning up just to get my EPA out of the way. And heating season is in full swing. We're starting off here in early November. I've been doing a lot of no heat calls. Yesterday, I did a ball and plate kit and a zone valve. There was 2 zones basically overheating yesterday. This was just a call I went on. And inside those zone valves, what they have is a plate and a ball that seats to open and close that zone. They were so corroded, like so frozen up, you know, they're basically so corroded that they're freezing up, and the valve didn't have the power to open that mechanism anymore. So I changed out the ball and plate kit yesterday. That was one no heat call I did. I'm trying to think what else. I'll have to film some more of that stuff. Glad I could share this call here with you guys today. Thanks for watching Blue Collar Biceps. Like, comment, subscribe, guys, if you haven't already, and share the videos. That helps the channel. I'm getting a late lunch today. Days like this, it can be hard to balance the lifting stuff, but I'm gonna go try to get a healthy meal in, probably consisting of some ground beef, maybe some sweet potato. I'm not eating out today. I'm trying to kind of cut down, so I don't want to go eat garbage. So I'm gonna have that, and then I'm off to class. So you guys have a great day or night, and again, thanks for watching. Peace.